They escort me over to the press conference. They open the door for me.
They force you to the ground. They handcuff you.
Imagine what they can do. Imagine what they are doing to people in communities.
I want to jump into a CNN segment with a Democratic senator that the Trump administration had forced to the ground and handcuffed for speaking out at a DHS event, a further attack on dissent and free speech. So if you can, start by leaving us a like on the video. It gives us a huge boost in the algorithm. It lets us know you enjoy the content, and let's see what context we can add.
If this can happen to me, a United States Senator representing the state of California, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security and the people around the Secretary will treat a United States Senator for having the audacity to ask a question, then imagine what they can do, imagine what they are doing to people in communities, not just throughout Los Angeles, but throughout the country. Now, but back to the facts at hand here, because I also heard Governor Palente's remarks. So let me just set the record straight. The point was made, this wasn't at a park, this wasn't in front of a shopping center, this was inside a secure federal building. Yes, I myself went through security screening to enter the building. Why was I even there? I was there for a scheduled briefing with representatives of NORTHCOM, Northern Command.
It's remarkable. Like, it never stops surprising me that the party of free speech absolutism, with the members who were yelling during Biden's State of the Union each year, who would heckle him directly to his face as he walked down to the podium, now sees a Hispanic senator who has all grounds to be in the buildings attempting to speak out, and they not only arrest him, but have him drug out of the room and slammed to the floor like a criminal. Like, where is the comparable action from Biden? I mean, this is what targeting your political enemies actually looks like. And he makes a great point in this clip. If they do this to a US senator in broad daylight at that, imagine how they're treating migrants behind closed doors.
It's unsettling. I mean, can I just show again the moment that you were detained, Senator? Because you're, they're telling you to put your hands behind your back. They force you to the ground. They handcuff you, right? And this is after in the room you'd asked a question. Now, when she was talking, it did sound like you were talking over her. You heard the governor say you were trying to create a spectacle. Tell me exactly what happened. You're just sitting in the room, and then what? Tell me how you see it.
So here's what happened. So I'm in the conference room a couple doors down waiting this briefing with representatives of Northern Command. We learned almost on the spot that there's this press conference going on down the hall. Now my briefing is delayed because of the folks in that press conference. From the moment I entered the building, I'm being escorted by a member of the National Guard and an FBI agent. I asked, well, since we're waiting, can we go listen into the press conference? They escort me over to the press conference. They open the door for me. I'm standing in the back, behind the reporters, behind the cameras, just listening in. And at one point, the rhetoric just got to be too much. Not the first time, but the second time the secretary takes it upon herself to say that the Trump administration wants to liberate the people of Los Angeles from the governor and the mayor. It was just too much.
It's just more tenets of authoritarianism, where they can't have these public showings of dissent, people publicly showing outrage towards their insane rhetoric as they attempt to normalize this sort of militarized control of states that they don't agree with. Something that we all know, if the shoe was on the other foot, like if this was Biden having Jim Jordan arrested after sending the National Guard into Texas and Jim Jordan saying that was unconstitutional, MAGA would be crying dictator and censorship and cancel culture and all the things that they spent the last couple years pretending liberals stood for. Now, as their party does things like this to quell free speech, and they all cheer it on. Literally, every single accusation from MAGA is a confession. It's almost astonishing.
It said who I was. I began to ask a question, and it was maybe half a second later before there was multiple agents on me. They shoved me outside. I was trying to both get my question out and not lose my balance. One is telling me, get down on my knees. Another one's pushing me in a different direction. There was no resistance. To the contrary, I kept asking, why am I being detained? Get down on your knees turns into flat on the floor. I'm trying, but I'm being pushed and pulled in different directions. I'm finally down on the floor. They handcuff me multiple times. Why am I being detained? No response, no response, no response. Finally, minutes later, I guess somebody around the secretary realizes this is the United States Senator. And they come running down the hall and finally say, let him go. Again, the point is, if it can happen to me in that setting, imagine what they're doing to people all around the country. And Erin, let me also underscore this. It's not just about immigrants' rights, which so many peaceful protesters are shouting about in Los Angeles. It's about all of our rights.
This is spot on. And to be clear, it shouldn't escape anyone that this is a Hispanic man. Trump's DHS treating him like this is probably reflexive. It's indicative of how they're treating other Hispanic people, other foreigners. It's why tourism in this country is down. Foreign people are scared to come here under Trump. It's why immigration is down, legal immigration as well. I mean, migrants are scared to come here, which, contrary to popular belief of the bigots, it's not a good thing for our country or our economy. But at some point, something needs to be done. We can't let democracy be stolen in front of our eyes. Authoritarianism normalized as dissent is crushed through military and police action. We've never seen this kind of stuff happen in America before. We need to, at the very minimum, take the House back in 2026 so the adults in the room can carry out the very much needed oversight of this fascist regime.